Greetings fellow Whovians and welcome to Timey Wimey Review. April 19th, 2021 marks the 10th anniversary of the passing of Elisabeth Sladen, who is best known for portraying perhaps the best companion in Doctor Who history, Sarah Jane Smith. To this day, I still miss her greatly. She was such a talented actress. Producer Barry Letts said it perfectly himself when Elizabeth was auditioning for the role. He said she was the only actress that could portray scared and brave at the same time, and I absolutely agree with him. From her introduction to the Third Doctor, to that iconic cliffhanger in Genesis of the Daleks and the second part of that episode, she had so many iconic moments like Eldrad Must Live, her reactions to meeting the 10th Doctor in School Reunion, and my personal favourite, the reaction that she gave when the Daleks returned in Stolen Earth. She just gives me goosebumps every time, especially when she's hugging Luke. It's just so powerful. When news about her death was announced late that night, I was absolutely devastated and shocked. I think it just came out of nowhere, and I imagine quite a lot of people, young and old, was absolutely devastated and heartbroken of the sad news that she died of cancer. So today I want to celebrate and honour the memory of Elisabeth Sladen. I've been reaching out to fellow Whovians across social media, and today I want to share your stories, comments and some of my thoughts in this video. Before I do, I'd like to mention that I've set up a fundraising page for Cancer Research UK in tribute to Elisabeth Sladen. Click in the description below onto that link, and if you can, please feel free to donate. Let's raise some money for Cancer Research UK. I've never done one of these types of videos before, so I hope you enjoy it. Let's read some of these comments. Sarah Jane Smith played such an important part in my childhood. Liz Sladen always came across as a beautiful, warm, humble, kind and very competent person. Taken much too soon, but thankfully has left us with this wonderful body of work. I couldn't agree with you more there. Again, such a talented actress, just with so many memorable scenes in Doctor Who from both the classic modern era and the spin-off series. I remember when Sarah Jane Smith became the Third Doctor's assistant. I thought she was great right from the start. The way Rose and Sarah Jane teases the Doctor in School Reunion was hilarious. When the Doctor says, "My Sarah Jane," I'm usually in floods of tears at that moment. Again, couldn't agree with you more. I imagine quite a lot of people felt like that. I did like the comment underneath this comment that said, "The BBC should have sent out everyone a free packet of tissues." And yeah, absolutely. I do like that she has transcended through many generations. I remember watching the reruns of Doctor Who back in the 90s, and that's how I really got into Doctor Who. And again, remembering Sarah Jane Smith in Genesis of the Daleks, that was one of the repeats back in the 90s. And then seeing her again in School Reunion, I didn't read any sort of dirt sheets or anything like that, so I didn't know she was going to be in it. So it was surprising, but amazing at the same time. I watch the spin-off of K9 and Company every year as part of my Christmas rituals. That's a great tradition there. I'm going to be reviewing K9 and Company. That's going to be the next video on Timey Wimey Review. Brilliant. Really cool tradition. Thanks for sharing. The Fourth Doctor was my first Doctor and Liz was my first companion. I explained to my wife that she was a minor bright spot in my otherwise difficult childhood. When we then saw on TV someone who had a much harder childhood than I did, then I did tear up, remembering how in his orphanage watching her was the bright spot of his week as a kid. The show was an escape and she was gifted in making us feel like we were there, that we too could help others. When she first came on screen in School Reunion, I nearly choked on my food. I didn't know beforehand that she was going to be on Doctor Who Season 2. The day she died, I felt like I lost the love of my life. Wow, this is some powerful stuff. Thank you again for sharing this. And yeah, again, like I just said before, I didn't know that she was going to come into it. I was excited that the Sidemen was going to be returning in Season 2 of Modern Era of Doctor Who, but more excited that Sarah Jane was coming back. That was a really good bridge, if you like, between classic and modern era Doctor Who. But back to the poor child and growing up with, you know, hard times. I was quite lucky with my childhood, and yeah, I was a little bit teased and bullied at school. Again, I was probably the only one that watched Doctor Who when it was definitely not popular. So again, it's amazing how characters like this and actresses, you know, just have that effect on you as a child and again in later life as an adult. Personally, I remember her death hitting me hard as a youngster, and the playground the morning it was announced being uncharacteristically quiet as many realised their favourite actress has passed away. Yeah, again, I could probably imagine that if I was a youngster finding that out for the first time. I remember when it was announced, they interviewed Russell T Davis, who said that I think a few mums and dads will be hugging their kids extra tightly this morning, learning about the death of Elisabeth Sladen. It must have been so hard to swallow, and probably for quite a few kids, probably one of their first sort of experiences about death. I got to meet her at a convention 13 or 14 years ago. She made an appearance as a party at the eve of the convention and stopped at our table. She was jet lagged, so she stayed only a few minutes, but she was very nice and had mentioned that she was excited to be in the US because it gave her an opportunity to buy her daughter jeans at a lot lower cost than if she bought those in the UK. Cut to a couple of days later, and I was hearing people working the con and on their walkie talkies worried because they couldn't find her. The convention worker assigned to look after her had lost track of her at a nearby mall that she was at buying jeans. They tracked her down, and Elizabeth Sladen apologised profusely for being late. That is such a cool story. Yeah, I can probably imagine her being a little bit flustered and just being so apologetic about that little incident. But yeah, I was very, very lucky enough to have met Elizabeth Sladen once at a Comic Con and managed to get my video signed of the android invasion there. And yeah, looking back, she was a little bit shy at first, but then that just washed away, and you just got this warmth and kindness. And I don't know why she did, but I was very lucky enough to get a nice hug from her. She was a really good hugger. I just remember that. That was just sort of like, I don't remember much about talking to her. I probably, as a teenager, was just very, very shy, but to have that hug. And I think, again, looking back when it was announced that she died, I was so bummed out, and just even when someone mentions her, I do get bummed out because of that treasured moment of her having a hug. Again, so lucky, and again, thank you for sharing. And that is a snapshot of some of the comments there from fellow Whovians. Thank you very much for allowing me to share those stories. There were so many out there, and this is just a few to choose from. But please add some more in the comments below. Let's have a great celebratory day of Elisabeth Sladen. Let's just talk about your favourite Doctor Who story or spin-off show like the Sarah Jane Adventures or even K9 and Company. Let's just talk about anything and everything regarding Sarah Jane Smith, Elisabeth Sladen. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love a like and a subscription, but more importantly, I would love for everyone to share the stories, share their memories, share this video so other people could perhaps donate to the fundraising page in tribute to Elisabeth Sladen for Cancer Research UK. Again, let's just make it a great day about Elisabeth Sladen, Sarah Jane Smith. Next time on Timey Wimey Review, I will be reviewing K9 and Company. Until then, again, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for contributing in the comments. And as Good Doctor once said, until we meet again, Sarah.